Really nice sunny day today, but we have got 50-mile-an-hour winds again, and I think everybody is in the same boat all over the country. They've been going for the last 3 days and they're not going to stop till the end of the week, so it's basically battering everything all over again. It is a little bit warmer though. We're getting into double figures now, which is really good after those -4 to -6 days that we had. So we've got things uncovered once again. I've still got my fleece here. I'm just going to leave it there for the moment. I'm just making sure that things like these carrots have got enough water. They're in the greenhouse, so they're still going to dry out. But nothing seems to be suffering. That's the main thing. Especially these. Something that we need to keep his eye on for definite. That's those broad beans that we've had, and you can see quite a bit bigger now. Really healthy looking plants, which is brilliant. But the only problem is the roots. They grow really fast on broad beans, so we're now in a position where we need to move them on. I'm not going to do that today. What I'm going to do is wait until the end of the week when all this has calmed down a bit, and then I'm going to start potting on a few bits and bobs. So midweek I shall nip out, get a couple of bags of compost for that job, because I don't think the ones that we've got outside are quite ready yet. But really healthy looking plants. It must have blown all slugs away because there's no damage to them either. And we've got a little bit more advancement on those sweet peas. They're starting to leaf up a bit more now, as you can see. They're just ticking along nice and steady, and that's all we expect at this time of year. We don't even want huge spurts of growth so plants get too big, because we can't put them outside yet. We're still in for some more quite cold weather. I don't know when it's coming on this occasion, but I do know that it's not until April, May that things start to get a bit better. So I'm still expecting quite a few more frost yet, and maybe even snow. But for the moment, it's the wind that's been a complete pain. We went out a few days ago and we tidied our garden up. We cleared everything away that had been blown all over the place from that previous storm that we had. We repaired a few things. I put the greenhouse door back on that got blown off. And it all now seems like it were a little bit of a waste of time, because we've got another week of this and it's going to be consistently 50-mile-an-hour winds. So I'm pretty sure that there's going to be quite a bit of that work that's going to get undone. And we've already sustained a little bit more damage as well. Compost under there. I keep forgetting about these cabbages. We've got them tucked behind those carrots. When it was really cold, we were putting lots of fleece on. I mean, they're still alright, but again, they're not growing very big. And I think it's just come to the point with these as well, where they could do with moving on into something a little bigger. So we'll keep them where we can see them. And that'll just remind me to get that job done. Probably sometime at the end of this week. And I'm also going to be doing a few more peppers as well. But for the moment, I'm just going to have a quick look around the garden and see just how much damage that's been done. You're probably going to get a bit of wind noise, but there's not much I can do about that. I've actually not even been up here for a couple of days. At least that bunker's still intact, although it has knocked a couple of panels out back of that fence. What an awkward place for it to do that as well, because I can hardly get to it. I'm not going to move compost bins just to put 2 boards up. I'll nail them from the top and then wedge them halfway down. Glad I didn't bother fixing that fence either, because it would have got all smashed up again. But at least there's no more tree branches. So that's one thing. As you can see, that greenhouse door's come back off. So that's a bit of a waste of time. Once again, that glass is not smashed. we'll get this done. Hopefully next week when it calms down a bit. And we've got some, I don't know what that is. Well, it's come from somewhere. Big piece of steel. It's a strange one, unless it's come off side of a shed or something. I'm not sure about that. Greenhouse is alright, that can't go nowhere. It's a mystery, I don't know where that's come from, unless it was on the roof of the shed and it's been blown off and I just never knew it was there. You can see there's a loose panel on that fence and all that's dropped down. And another one missing there. We've actually still got the panel, so I can just tag that back in. Pointless doing it today, like, but we've still got it. Things look alright here as well at the moment. But we have took a bit of a beating down this end. It's not that complete panel art. And I don't think that's going to get fixed. At least not today anyway. But yeah, it's definitely been doing some gusting to have knocked that full panel out. So once again, a job for another day. I'm glad we haven't put note in this container garden at the minute. It won't have lasted 2 minutes this week. And thinking about it, I'm also glad that I weren't in garden when that blew from wherever it came from. So, back in greenhouse. It has actually knocked that glass out of that corner again and all. I'm surprised it's not ripped that window off. I should have closed that. That's something I need to get done. I'll do that now. If wind gets hold of that, it's liable to rip it straight off. So if you haven't done that yourself, close your greenhouse windows. At least until this storm passes. That garlic's looking alright. Carrots are still alright. So at least in here we've got a little bit of protection. So as you just saw, we've sustained more damage. It's mainly fencing panels that's getting wrecked. There's just no point in trying to fix them, especially when this is going on for the next 4 days or so. I'm just going to leave it be. We'll get it all fixed at weekend. Maybe we'll get a bit of sunshine to help us along. But apart from things in here and what's happening out there, I'll just do a quick update on those peppers that we've been growing indoors. I know people keep asking me about them and they want to know how they're getting on. And they're not doing too bad. That's those ones that we haven't potted on yet. They're getting some good size on them. They've all got the true leaves. They've got some nice colour to them. That's brilliant. These are going to get potted on at weekend as well. They're not root bound, but they are getting a bit of size to them. So I think I'm just going to move them on to something a little bit bigger. And then we did one as well, which is this one. We put it in quite a small container still. But once again, it's a nice looking little plant that. Doing really well. We can leave that in there for quite a while yet, so it's not a problem. But I think what we'll do, when we get that compost at weekend, we'll get rest of these moved on as well, just into those small containers. We know that's another job done, ready for spring, when it should get warmer, and then we should get a burst of growth on pretty much everything. So those peppers will soon start to put some size on. And we're going to have to sow some more seeds as well. Because weather's been so rubbish, I haven't bothered sowing any more seeds for peppers because I want more than what's here. These are the long, sweet peppers. They can grow to a foot in length, quite thin. But I still want some bell peppers. So we'll get some of those seeds sorted out as well over the next week or so, as we start to hopefully approach a bit better weather. But we don't want to be doing too much, because even indoors you've got to provide them with light, you've got to provide them with heat, and it's not a case for it costing you a fortune to do that, especially if you use those LED lights that I use, and just a cheap heat mat. It's the fact that you'll very quickly run out of space. So I just want to concentrate on my peppers at the moment. Tomatoes and cucumbers, when their time comes, will grow really fast, along with pretty much everything else. So at the moment they're not a concern. We just want to get these moved on. And I did receive a couple of donations as well, which I'm really grateful for. And one came from Wayne Dwyer. We also got a donation from Ann Trotter and another from Kevin Jarman. And you know that everything that you send to this channel gets put back into this channel, and it is massively appreciated. So thank you so much for your generosity for doing that. There's not much more I can do out here. It's not exactly fun standing out in your greenhouse with this wind howling constantly. You can't do nothing out there, it's completely pointless. So apart from checking out watering and updating you on these peppers, that's pretty much all I'm going to be doing today. Apart from making a couple more quizzes indoors where it's nice and warm. And if you're not doing no outside at the moment and you fancy doing a couple of quizzes, pop over to his quiz channel. I'll leave a link in the description. I've got nearly 100 quizzes on there now that I've made, and they cover all different topics. And if you enjoy doing quizzes and it offers you that little bit of entertainment, then why not click subscribe on his quiz channel as well. I'd really appreciate that to help us make that channel grow a bit quicker. Anyway, having said that, I'm going to pop back in. I'm going to take these back indoors where I know they're safe. Keep seeing little bits of grass or something growing in some of these. Best to take them out. Even a little piece of grass is taking up valuable root space at this point. So we'll get these back indoors, get them back under them lights and encourage some growth. And I'll probably be back with you in a day or so. We'll see what else we can do. Hopefully this is going to die down earlier than it's forecast, but don't hold your breath. So stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you soon. Take care.